That's suspicious. That's weird.
Another day.
Okay, so welcome back everybody. Officially that is the correct thing to say. But today I am going to attempt to renovate this house. Pros of it, I will do the same thing that I did before and make sure that I keep the budget that the house already is. But this budget is higher than the previous house that I've done, which is nice. Generally I just think there's too much space. So it might be the same move as before.
Oh Lord. Again. Again. Nothing new, nothing changed, same old shit. Same old fucking shit.
I make everything smaller right away instead of waiting, which is tip number 1 that I learned from my last video. And also not to panic, which is a thing that I do often. So another thing I would like to actually start doing is build challenges. I'm gonna try a couple myself, just looking around at ones that I know that exist, but I'm sure I'll miss some. So if there are any, I guess, sort of recommended to me, we'll do my best to also get on those. Okay, so the first thing I think I'm gonna do is just kind of size everything down, because while I do think the EA houses are incredibly empty and it's not great to look at, I will say that I don't think I'm gonna do it much better job if given the same parameters, so I will reduce those parameters and it'll also give me more money, which is helpful. I also want to try to add another bathroom somewhere, because the concept of 3 adults living in a house together and having to share one bathroom, if it doesn't need to happen, I'm not gonna do that. That sounds like an actual nightmare.
No ma'am.
I can barely handle living inside my own head rent-free.
No ma'am.
Let alone if I were tasked with having to exist inside of other. Nah.
No ma'am.
It might be a half bath. We'll find out. It depends. Once again, starting on the roof for just massively obvious reasons. I'm not a bold person. That's the extent of my boldness. It's fine. Moving on. This is also a test in me trying to actually speak while I build, because I normally just go completely silent, which isn't conducive to other people knowing what's going on inside of my head.
A profound silence has entered the chat.
My plan inside today is to go very light. You know, I will probably hate it. Another thing I learned from my previous attempt at this is that I should probably start on the most expensive places first, which that would be why I ran to the kitchen immediately to try to do it first. Another part of having an audience is probably a plus for me is that I can ask for recommendations on things to do from your end also. Like, I will always try to include music recommendations, because music is such a huge part of how I get through a day. And so I would love to hear music recommendations from you all, or even anime recommendations, poetry even. Last time I didn't actually have money to do this, and so it wasn't an issue. But normally the decorating of kitchens is what proves difficult, and why my CC starts to be a bit of an issue. Make them a live, laugh, love type of family. Nothing wrong with it. It takes all kinds to make a world. Oh, and this, I'm sure, is not a decoration. It's just me doing them a kindness. There's a mod, Granny's Cookbook. There's a lot of food mods in The Sims 4. And anyway, you download custom CC food recipes and like ingredients and things, and it's actually like a usable appliance essentially. It's really cool. And I know I'm tangenting again, but I promise you will get used to that. Whether or not you want to is a separate issue, but in addition to what I was saying earlier, I think it'd be really cool if everyone, like, who chooses to watch and comment could put below, like, how you're choosing to spend. Like, what is your primary way of killing time? Or I guess that's not a great phrase. Spending time in, whether it be for pandemic reasons or just because it's just generally how you spend your time. It'd be really cool to hear about it. It might give me some ideas. It's a very big deal for me to have these 3. Yeah.
Huh? What?
Okay.
Oh. Okay.
On to bathrooms. Honestly, I don't hate the color in the bathrooms, so I'll actually keep it. The one vibe I'm apparently completely fine with keeping.
This is disgusting. I like it though.
Also, eventually I'll stop saying this because it'll be sort of an understood thing. As in my previous video, there is every possibility that you will hear my cat at any given point in time. She is not the same cat as last time. What I'm currently referring to is my cat Nita. Talkin was the one that was... I looked back while editing. I found that he actually was not making any noise whatsoever, and I was being dramatic, I guess is the word for it, and he was actually just vibing and chilling. But the cat I'm currently referring to is Nita, and she is very close to the mic and has just woken up, so I do apologize in advance, just in case. I do imagine that this whole talking thing while building will become easier over time, especially when I'm getting feedback. Currently, primarily just sort of pre-recording these, mostly just so that I can set up a schedule, figure out timing I want to post. But I do have some conditions, might make it difficult. I just have to figure out what works for my schedule and mostly my brain, so that I can follow my own advice and be kind to myself.
Oh my god. Oh my god, he on X Games mode.
Hi, my name's Katrina. And my name is Hugh. I'm Sarah. I'm Emma. And I'm Joe to you.
This house is also currently just very beige. To be honest, the other one probably also was just very beige, but I will try to venture out of that if at all possible. Another pretty important question, at least it's important to me, is as niche as it is, I'm sure that there are people out there who are obsessed with Spirited Away at least halfway as much as I am. Question is there any recommended like CC or mods related to Spirited Away? I would be greatly appreciative if you could link me those, because while others will call it an obsession, I will say that there are much worse things to be obsessed with, and that's on Spectrum. So keeping with the theme of having excess amounts of marble, there you go. Also gonna be an absolute lad. Give him an Xbox. Bland or some actual color? Doesn't match. Probably could, but I don't know how to make it match, so just immediately throw in the towel. Also, a lot of the CC that I use, I mean, most people probably already know this and can see, so there's that. But is Peacemaker. They make amazing CC furniture. Is this room a problem?
This is not happening. This is a joke, right? Nobody seriously submitted this.
I did say that I was gonna make them a live, laugh, love family, so sure. It's astonishing how little I ended up following my own plan when I came into this. Right, we're not gonna say that that is a normal thing to have in your house. I think this scene here in the corner shows my dedication.
Talented, brilliant, incredible, amazing, show-stopping, spectacular, never the same, totally unique.
I really do think this still looks incredibly bare. But it is, you know, it is what it is. I will say it brings me great joy for everyone to know that my initial cause for doing this to get slightly better at building, I do think is paying off. Not that it's better, immediately backtracks, but I think my intuition is better, if that makes sense. Any sense at all. I'm also gonna have this person be a flower child. I don't know who's in there, but it's not at all normal to have this many different light fixtures in one house. But it's 3 different personalities. What are you gonna do? The indecisiveness does begin to be a problem after a while. The indecisiveness matched with the ignorance towards what CC I have actually is probably a more accurate statement. I'm now beginning to realize how tiny I made this bedroom. But move objects is a thing, and that's what's saving us here. For just a split second, I was gonna use this space clock, but that doesn't match the vibe. That's just me leaning into my own wants for whoever lives here. While I am the god of this world, it is not fair to abuse my power that way, so I'm not going to. I'm growing as a person. So how many times have I used this plant at this point? Probably just a few. It's not that bad. At this point, this room is just being made up of things. No real rhyme or reason anymore, to be completely honest. They're a surfer musician who loves the sky. Yes, sure. Also, let it be known that while for a while there I did forget that these people would need windows, we're back. I've covered it. I'm covering it, so it's fine. The temptation I have in me to just...
What is that? Oh shit, what is that?
This isn't about me. This isn't about what I want. This isn't about my needs. Gotta keep telling yourself that. Did I seriously not leave any space for windows in the living room? I guess I can just shove them in the corner. The amount of forethought is definitely lacking, but we're good. We're fine. It's great. Also, throughout this whole thing, I'm running back into the issue that I've always had with light wood tones, which I know I talk about way too much for as meaningless as it really is. Everything just always looks so washed out. Just that whole, this is not good to me. But I'm branching out. I've said it before. And I'll stick by it, I guess. No matter how much I really don't want to. I was debating what to put back here, but I suppose I should keep some of the original personality of the people that actually live here. Also, wind chimes, because why not wind chimes? I'm beginning to think my issue is less with light wood tones and more with the fact that when I do use light wood tones, I just go overboard. That might explain a few things, I think. Potentially. Also, I find it quite interesting how I'm outside decorating when I haven't finished the inside yet. It's just a thing I've noticed about myself. I am at least self-aware. I can say that much for myself.
I'm a dumbass. I'm a dumbass. I'm a dumbass.
In addition, they can actually afford fire protection, so as depressing as that is a concept, could not be said for the previous house. Okay, brainstorming for the other bedrooms. This is complete. Bare, for sure. Let's just put a book somewhere. That makes up for it, right? Yeah, sure. This is nature. The coloring in here is questionable at best. This room does at least have slightly more space, though. No, never mind. This little room is a fire hazard. The amount of wood and candles. But, I mean, this is the price you pay if you want to be one with nature. And this may be pushing it, but I might actually have the money for it this time. Technically, I do. Does that make it a good idea? No. But I'll do it until I know that I can't do it. And currently it's fine, so. This room ended up vibey, despite the weird coloring of the room. I don't hate it. Now, if I were to brainstorm for this other person, I'm just gonna make him super into space. You know, I've said it before, you gotta see yourself. You gotta represent yourself. Important in life. And is that a lot? It is a lot, but some people are a lot. Be inclusive of everyone in this space, including people who are maybe a little bit too similar to me for me to be comfortable with, so. But now the floors don't actually match anymore. If I'm gonna make it this dark of a room, so there we go. They're different. Also curtains, because the white windows stand out quite a bit now. You can still see it, but it's better, slightly. I'm also pretty sure if I put curtains in front of the door that's still fine. That is still a usable door. Not great to look at, probably, but the white looks worse to me, so there we go. It is still character growth to me that I managed to insert myself into this house. Dark wood, space, yeah, pretty much me. Still proud of myself because I resisted the urge from the vast majority of this build, and that's insanely impressive. Honestly, if only you knew. You gotta be yourself. Is that just me making up excuses to be able to do what I want in the last few minutes of this? Yes, and that's fine. It's healthy even. This one room is my joy. Now to move on to something that I dread, landscaping.
I'm a dumbass. I'm a dumbass. I'm a dumbass. I'm fucking flunked. What the fuck?
That's the best thing I've ever seen in my life. Technically, I have everything in the house. I'll just move the wind chimes up so the front doesn't feel so empty. Yeah, that makes it better for sure. I kept it bright and airy. That, at the very least, can be said. Here's the final look of the house. I'll give a little tour. I didn't even put rocks this time. I think it got downgraded from the last time I landscaped, but alright. There's a beautiful little wind chime and a chair in the corner, and these great doors and just no privacy at all. But it's light and airy, and that's what happens when you keep it light and airy. This is the decision I made for the living room. I tried to make it not as beige. When I think light and airy and light wood tones, it's just beige. So there was an attempt. Kitchen, beige, with some green, and sushi. And that's what matters. They're also a live, laugh, love family, as you can see from the wall here. The hallway is very bland because it's a hallway. This is the first bedroom. I decided that they were someone who loved clouds and music and whatever is super into crucifixes. This one is me. This is just a representation of me. Got an ace computer and space, so the bathrooms aren't much to be said. I did my best to make them actually identical so I wouldn't have to do too much thinking once I got done with one. And the final bedroom, which is just a jungle oasis, and also where most of the money for the house went. I mean, with as yellowish orange as it is, I think it turned out fine. Fire hazard for sure, but they were able to afford fire protection this time. So, like, they're not living on the edge. Here's the built-in for the grill that I tried to do. I included a beautiful chess table, because how else do you build logic other than that, or a rocket ship, and that wouldn't have fit. They have space for entertaining. Because some people are social. Plants, because there are already plants here. Or entertaining space. And protection from death and fires, because that room, most assuredly that'll happen in this house. And they recycle. Proud of them for that. So that is the finished house. I did my best. I went very out of my comfort zone this time around. Leave in the comments, like I said, any build challenges I should do that seem kind of fun. Any music you recommend, or TV shows, or poetry, ways to kill time. With all that being said, I'll see you all in the next video, whoever decides to watch. Thanks, by the way. But goodbye for now. Guys, gals, and non-binary pals.